This is lesson 17 of AS Pure Mathematics. Today's topic is vectors. First, let's identify the difference of a vector. What we usually work with is scalars. These are values with only magnitude, like length or mass. A vector, however, also has direction, like velocity. This means it can be negative if it acts in the opposite direction. Here's a graph on how we express vectors. The arrow in the middle shows the direction, and we can write it any of these two ways, with an arrow going from the start to the end, or its lowercase letter with a bar under. A unit vector is a vector with a magnitude of 1. We can show these by putting a hat on the vector instead of a bar underneath. We express these using I and j, which you may see in a question, but it's exactly the same as writing a column vector, where the x coordinate goes on the top and the y on the bottom. Adding two vectors to make one results in it ending at the same position, and all you have to do is add x and y points for the separate vectors. When multiplying by a scalar, again, you just multiply the x and y coordinates by that number. This also results in the two vectors being collinear, which just means they are on the same straight line. This rule also applies for negative numbers. It just flips the sign on the x and y values. When finding the magnitude, which is basically just length of the line, we use Pythagoras' theorem. And to find the direction, we use the inverse function of tan, treating this like a triangle, so it's opposite over adjacent. We've been using them already, but a position vector is one that starts from the origin. This can make it a lot easier to see how we find the angle. Remember, a vector is direction and magnitude, so it actually doesn't matter what it looks like on a graph. Here I will find the position vector so you can see the angle more clearly. It's still the same vector.